to the stage our final team from Stanford University, Linus Niang and Nate Mang, to tell us about their organization, Embrace.
Hello. Nate couldn't be here today. He had to fly back from the catch final, but I'm honored to be here today. It's a real pleasure to speak with everyone of you guys. So a little bit about myself. My name is Linus Niang. I just graduated from Stanford last quarter finally, and now I work full time on a nonprofit company called Embrace. And what we do is we make low-cost infant incubators for the developing countries. So before I begin and describe the product, I'm sure you're very curious, I want to tell you why I'm standing here actually, and how I got here today. So in 2007, I took a class called Extreme Affordability at Stanford, and it's a class that pairs MBAs with engineers like me. And we're trying to, the point of the class is to tackle some of the world's most challenging problems. And our particular problem that year was to actually improve neonatal health. So I flew to Nepal actually. They sent me over there, and I flew thousands of miles, and I get there, and I get to Kathmandu, and I get to the major hospitals, and I set up all these meetings with all these doctors. And when I got there, I noticed the hospitals were really, really nice. They actually had nice facilities that are really new, and they had these $20,000 incubators, the one that we're all familiar with, the one that has an enclosure and things like that. And I asked the doctor, I said, why is this such a problem? It seems like you have great health care here. It seems like all your facilities are more than adequate. And he said, look closely at those incubators. So I looked closely at those incubators, and they looked fine. They were donated, they were used, but they seemed fine. And I said, what's the problem? He said, look closely. And then I realized there weren't any babies in those incubators. So I said, why are there babies in the incubators? He said, you're not going to the right problem. The problem is villages. So I canceled all my meetings. I went to the bus station, and I booked a bus ride. It's a crazy experience, but I booked a bus ride. And I went to the nearest village, per se. It was 20 miles away. But the bus ride took actually 4 hours to get there. Just because it's hilly and the road conditions. It was quite an experience. And so I get to the villages, and I talk to these local clinicians. And I said, tell me your stories. Tell me your problems. What do you see? And I constantly heard this story over and over and over again. They say, I had a mother come in. She had a premature baby. I told her, I have no facilities here. I've seen the facilities in their local clinic. It was a wooden box with a light bulb on it, and that light bulb had blown out 10 years ago. So he says, you have to go to Kathmandu. You have to go to the bigger cities, get into these nice incubators. That will save your child. But these rural villagers, they don't have the means to actually get there. It's very unfortunate. So 2 weeks later, the baby dies. And this is a common story that I heard over and over again. So I fly back to Stanford. And I say, and I talk to all these neonatologists, I talk to all these doctors, I talk to all these professors, experts. I did a lot of research. It turns out 20 million babies are born every year at low birth weight or premature. And 4 million babies don't even see the first birthday. And those that do survive, they end up growing with lifelong health problems. But the staggering thing is 80% of these happen in the rural areas, not in the big cities. So this is a big problem. So we formed a team full of MBAs and engineers. And we said, all right, given all these constraints, given all these problems, what can we make to solve this? And what we came up with is Embrace. So I'm going to show you real quick. All right, so what it is basically this pouch. It's full of a special material called fascia material. It's a plastic substance that gives off heat. And you heat it through, if you don't have electricity, which most rural villagers don't, you heat hot water. They actually make a lot of tea, so they boil a lot of water. You pour it into this can, and this can is engineered to specifically give the right amount of heat to melt this pouch here. You place it on here, and then in 15 minutes, and when the temperature indicates it's ready, it's melted. Now the key, and then you put it in the sleeping bag. There's a little slot here, and then you fold it into the sleeping bag, and then the baby is born. Sorry, I like to walk around a little longer. But the key with this fascia material, is that it lasts 4 hours. It's a special material that stores the heat and releases it slowly. And we engineered it to last 4 hours and at a constant temperature of 37 degrees. Now, this constant temperature is very important because low birth weight and premature babies cannot regulate their own temperature. And so these temperature fluctuations are very, very harmful. And if you can keep this consistent temperature, 80% of the time, they can survive. So, based on this, we developed it and we compared to other products like the traditional incubators. Actually, I should talk about this. Compared to traditional incubators, which are effective, they're only in the major hospitals, right? So they're prohibitively expensive and they can't get to these rural clinics where we were. There are other solutions such as home remedies, such as hot water bottles and warm blankets, but these are very ineffective as well because they either go too hot, too cold, they cool down too fast. And then finally, there's a practice called kangaroo mother care, where you put skin-to-skin contact between mother and baby. But this solution is also not highly practiced, even though it's effective. And the reason is because it's impractical for the mother to have the baby on them for 24 hours. So I want to talk a little bit about our rollout strategy. So we plan to go to India with this, and the reason for that is there's a huge market for this product. There's 6 million babies born here every year that are low birth weight or premature, and it's 40% of the world problem, so it's a staggering number. Next is a relatively easy market to entry. We have 2 actual team members who are from India and have local experience. They know distributors, we have partners there, and so it's a relatively easy market to enter from that perspective. And finally, the government is willing to work with us. They know this is a problem, and they know this is something they want to solve, and they want to work with us. Now, I want to emphasize, before we go to India, though, there's 2 things we want to do. We want to make sure that this product works and is safe. To make sure it works, we're doing 2 things. We're working in an actual hospital. It's the All Indian Institute of Medical Sciences. Sorry, it's a mouthful. And we're going to test the product there. That's going to give us the academic and clinical setting to prove to doctors that this actually works. And 2, we're going to work with several NGOs, the biggest one, Partners in Health, to actually bring this product into the villages to verify that it works in practice. To verify the safety of the product, we're going through FDA approval. And this is crucial because we're not going to put out a product that's unsafe. Any product we make will meet the same qualities, the same standards as any product, any U.S. medical product. So that's very important. And once we do this, we'll start distribution. So we're distributing to first private clinicians, governments, and then NGOs. And we're distributing to these 3 segments because this will allow us to get the product to everyone, everywhere that needs it. So I want to talk a little bit now about the social return on investment, touch up a little bit about this. So in 5 years, Embrace will be self-sustainable. We're reinvesting the profits we make back into the company. So as we grow bigger, we can scale bigger. And by then, in 5 years, we would hope to have saved 150,000 lives, improved the lives of 800,000 babies, and thus raise GDP by $1 billion. And we can do this only with an investment of $1.5 million. And that roughly equates to every one of these we sell will raise GDP by $2,000. For every $7, it will save one life, and every $1, it will improve one life. So I want to talk a little bit about the broader social goals we have, though. One is to reduce world population growth. Now, it's kind of counterintuitive, right? You're going to save babies, but world population growth is going to go down. It is, but the data backs it up. There's strong correlation between this. And many thought leaders like Bill Gates and Mohammed Yunus have talked about this. And the theory is that when families know that their babies are going to grow up healthy and live productive lives, they will actually have less children. And the second social mission we're trying to do is break the cycle of poverty. So the first days of life are so critical for your health. If you're low birth weight or premature, and you end up doing survive, you have these lifelong health problems. And in turn, this is going to impede your ability to get jobs, to find work, get food, and get healthier. And thus, in return, your babies are going to be low birth weight or premature. So it's a cycle that goes over and over and over again. And we want to break it right where it starts at the beginning. So the next step, I just want to finish up here, is in 2009 for the rest of the year, I'm actually moving to India in 3 weeks to go get face-to-face with our distributors and our partners there. We need to finish up the product design, and then we're going to start these trials. In 2010, those should be done. We should have FDA approval. We'll begin selling to the clinicians and start engaging the governments and NGOs. And in 2011, we would have fully engaged the governments and NGOs and expand internationally. So I want to point out, this product is not just for India. We're going to that market because it's a good market to start, but once we get our foundation, we're going to bring this worldwide. So like Bangladesh is another option, Africa. Every other day asking if they can buy this product. And it kind of hurts me that I can't sell it yet, but we want to get there. And finally, we want to develop other products. So I wish the team could be here, but they have a wide expertise in different ranges of disciplines. And so we are fully committed to this, and we want to not only address this market, but we want to bring innovative solutions to different products and meet different needs. So I invite you to come talk to me afterward. You can check it out if you want to